My name is Will Reed. I'm on the 2014 cohort of the New Entrepreneurs Foundation. I'm working full-time at a company called WM360 and also working on a company I founded myself called Edify. At WM360 I work alongside the founder and CEO on a host of things. I kind of started off working on strategy and picking up the pieces from the leadership meetings and the team meetings there and picking up projects from that. I've worked on a whole host of stuff, but now I've found myself working predominantly in sales and marketing. Coming into this year, I had no idea that I'd be given such a varied task and varied tasks that I'd be doing throughout the year. But it's been a really, really great opportunity for me to experience a host of different things and a host of things that I never knew I'd find interest in, or a host of things I never knew I could be passionate about. Some of the stuff that I'm now fiercely passionate about day to day, and talking to other people, my friends are like, yeah, so what's this technology on about? And I'm like, no, I need to tell you about it. It's really cool, it's really exciting. I also spend a lot of time running a project called Edify, which I co-founded at the end of last year, before I was on the New Entrepreneurs Foundation, but which has really blossomed through the contacts I've met on the New Entrepreneurs Foundation. So what Edify is it's a platform to showcase interesting people. We've done that through a number of ways. We started with some video interviews and moved on to a radio show, which we ran for a year on Hoxton FM. We've now started to be involved with a number of brands that are kind of working with us to see how we can bring our audiences together to find new innovative ways of showcasing really interesting people behind really interesting projects. Projects like Boiler Room, projects like Million Hands and MadTech, record label, are all coming with us and explaining their stories through a number of different kind of platforms that we can provide them with. Before the NEF, after graduating from Sheffield University with a degree in management and economics, I then went onto a graduate scheme at a large media company in the UK. I was based in St Albans in London. And though my time there wasn't entirely negative, I felt like what I was doing wasn't kind of speaking to the entrepreneurial part of me, which I'd always aspired to have. I'd always aspired to be entrepreneurial, and I'd always aspired to do entrepreneurial things, and I had done them throughout university and throughout my childhood. It was a classic case of selling sweets for twice what you bought them from the BP the morning before. So whilst I was at that company, I didn't feel like I was getting the kind of varied roles that I wanted, and I didn't feel like I was given the chance to be entrepreneurial. So I was told by a friend of a friend who was on the first scheme with the NEF that it was a really good opportunity, and they sung its praises absolutely. And so I had a little look, and I got my application in just before the deadline, which you probably shouldn't do, but got my application in just before the deadline and managed to get myself in the assessment centres, and the rest is history. For me, the best stuff that I've learned so far on the NEF training scheme has been all the things we've learned around the beginning of starting a business. So opportunity evaluation has been a really big thing. So we've learned how to look at a market and look at who's being underserved by the incumbents, and look at where there might be an opportunity to break into that market and to do something new and to serve the people that aren't being properly served at the moment. We've then looked at how to evaluate those ideas. So we've looked at how to assess in numbers and in real terms whether that opportunity that you perceive to be there is actually there. So that's the best thing I think we've learned so far during the NEF training. Some of the biggest challenges throughout the first 3 months of the NEF have been juggling workload. So I've got my own project. I work full-time at a company, and I've also got the NEF training and the NEF opportunities that come at me. And it's just knowing that I love each bits of what I'm doing, but I need to find a way to balance everything. So that's one of the hardest things to acclimatise to, is to where do you spend your time. And I think when you're really passionate about the entrepreneurship, about the company you're working for, and also about your own things, that can be difficult. But obviously there's a way around it, and I feel like I've kind of found the balance now. In my experience so far, the best thing about the New Entrepreneurs Foundation has been the network that I've been exposed to. Not only have I had a whole 35 other people within my cohort, minds that think just like I do, and that challenge you and stretch you and like the similar things that you do, and are massively interested in entrepreneurial developments. Not only have you got those people to bounce ideas off really regularly, you've also got the people that attend the NEF events, the speakers, and the wider kind of community of sponsors and partners that attend the NEF events that have been an amazing resource to get to know and to speak to, and that I've actually can now treat some of them as mentors and as friends. And then additionally, the people that I've been exposed to through my host company have really widened my network, and I think will be massively beneficial in my career as it goes on. I mean, for example, I was sat in a room at one of my first events with Sir Charles Dunstone of Car Phone Warehouse, and also the head of Anglo-American PLC, which is a massive company with 110,000 employees, I think he had at the time. and they were just there giving business advice to a room of 30 people that perhaps wouldn't have been able to get that advice, but definitely wouldn't have been able to get that advice without them. And next week we're off to an event with the head of the London Stock Exchange, and some of these people that we're getting to meet is just amazing, and it's been one of the real highlights for me of my year so far. The NEF has made me realise just how competitive the startup, entrepreneurial and business worlds are, and how wherever possible, whatever help you can get to get ahead in those worlds, it's massively worthwhile. And I think the NEF may well be my leg up into those worlds, which I want to get into.